Hey guys, we're back here trying to give you somewhat of a visual of how these open market operations work. So, first of all, we've got to understand there's three entities involved in this. I've got my rich person over here, okay, somebody that's going to have a bunch of money to invest. We're going to have the Federal Reserve, and then we're going to have the banks that you and I shop at that are going to play a role. So right now we've kind of frozen time, okay, and I just set the interest rates at whatever their level. Okay. And so, anyway, whatever they are. All right. Now, we have groups of people, right? Maybe some of us included someday, hopefully, right? That come into some money, right? And sometimes, their income goes up. Maybe it's a tax return or whatever. And they have some choices that they can do, with that money. They can invest it in the stock market. They can spend it. They can, buy property with it. But sometimes they're going to come into some money and they're going to put it into banks. Okay. So understand that once this bank gets this big chunk of money, okay, from this rich person or a group of rich people, however you want to look at it, okay, once they come into that money, what we've got to understand is now they have more money to loan out. Okay, and to get rid of that money, to sell it, they have to, right? We compared them to bananas in the last video. To get rid of that, they have to lower interest rates. Okay, they have more money, they have more supply. All of a sudden, they have to lower interest rates. Okay, now let's say that the government wants to slow things down. Okay, so inflation is a problem. The government wants to slow things down. Well, like we said, these rich people over here, they've got some options on how to invest their money, okay, and different things. Is it easy to get out of it, or is it easy to get it out, right? Savings accounts, really easy to take that money out. That's an advantage. Stock market, a little bit trickier, okay, but there's a few other things, okay? So one thing the Federal Reserve can do is they can sell what are referred to as securities, okay? Sometimes these securities are called bonds as well, okay? Now notice, we've got to know that the Federal Reserve is the seller, okay? Seller is going to make the economy smaller. Okay. So what the Federal Reserve is going to say is, hey, listen, we're going to offer this bond program, this security program, and we want some people to invest. We want to slow the economy down. Okay. So first things first, somebody has to decide to buy this. Okay. There's the government selling it, the Federal Reserve selling it. Somebody has to agree to buy it. And so if I'm this rich person, I say, okay, you know what? My money's not earning any interest in the bank. All right. I'm going to take that money out. Right? I'm going to take that money out of the bank and I'm going to buy this bond with it. So to buy that bond, I've got to give the Federal Reserve the money. Okay. And I'm going to hold on to this bond for a while. It's going to give me some money. Now, the big thing here is the bank now has less money in the safe, right? So what do they have to do to their interest rates? They have less money, just like a grocery store is going to have less product, less bananas. So if they're going to have this particular situation, they're going to raise their interest rates, right? So interest rates go up. They have less money. Okay, so the Federal Reserve sells bonds, right? Rich people take their money out. Interest rates go up. Okay, now we flip it. The process stays. The process is similar, right? So let's say the government says, "Hey, listen, we need to speed things up. Okay, we need to make our economy bigger. Okay." So we're going to buy back our bonds. And so the government comes in and says, hey, listen, we're going to buy these bonds back. Okay. Well, these security dealers, these people that are investing in this type of stuff, they're going to take that money out, right? They give their bond back to the Federal Reserve. Hangs out over here. Okay. That rich person, again, they can take that money, they can put it in the stock market, they can do a whole bunch of things, but they're going to take some of it and put it where? In the bank, right? Okay. So they take some of that money, put it in the bank. Again, we have bought these bonds, right? Okay. So if I buy the bonds back, I have to be the money giver. Okay. And so what's going to happen to our interest rates? I got more money in the bank. Our interest rates go down. Okay. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Maybe watch this video twice. Get a grip on it. Understand that the bank is making the decision that they have to lower interest rates eventually, right? Because there's more money in the safe. Okay. All right, guys, just a quick little review of what we talked about today. Kind of giving you a little graph to look at with it, right? On our left here, well, on the left as I face it, we've got our expansionary policy, right? Where our interest rates are going to go down. When interest rates go down, that increases our aggregate demand. We tied those together last time. And those are the three things they can do. Okay, they can lower their reserve requirement, they can lower the discount rate, or they can buy bonds. They're going to do the opposite if we're going to slow things down, right? So we're going to decrease our supply to the left. Okay, it's going to decrease our aggregate demand, try to fix inflation, right? Where we raise reserve requirements, we raise the discount rate, or we sell bonds. Okay, one thing that you can halfway remember is if you look at this axis as kind of a percentage, like if you think about the reserve requirement, it goes from if I can loan out $0, 0%, well, my equilibrium is going to be over here, right? No one's going to borrow any money. If I loan out all of my money, able to, over at 100%, right, my supply is going to move over to the right. I hope this makes some sense. If it doesn't, try the ACDC video, the AP website I mentioned in the email. You know, it's an extraordinary amount of information. I'm trying not to overwhelm you with too much. We'll move forward with this in some ways that we can figure out how much money a bank is allowed to loan out with some physical numbers on Friday. Okay, have a good rest of your day. I was happy to hear from a lot of you guys with what you're enjoying. I'm hoping you're making the best of this situation.